The grass type. One of 3 Pokemon types selectable as a starter, also the 3rd most common Pokemon type. Overall, arguably the worst Pokemon type that exists, with 5 weaknesses and 7 types that are capable of resisting grass. This type definitely needs to be matched up with other types to reduce its overwhelming flaws. So here we go, calculating the best grass type combination. To calculate the greatest type combination for this video, I will be using this formula. Hopefully I can simplify and explain this quickly. So basically a type combination will gain 2 points for each type it is super effective against, and a bonus 1 point if both of its affiliated types are super effective against the same type. It will lose 2 points for each weaknesses, an additional loss of 3 points if it has a double weakness. It will gain half a point for each resistance, another half point for every double resistance, lose 2 points if both types are resisted by the same type, gain 2 for each immunity, and lose 2 for each liability, which are types that are immune against it. Hopefully you understood that. If there is a tiebreaker, I will just choose. In 17th, and the worst grass type combination is grass and bug. This combination is super effective against 6 types with 5 resistances and 2 double resistances. It also has 6 weaknesses with a double weakness to both fire and flying. It is also resisted by 4 types. Final score, negative 10.5. In 16th is grass and psychic. This combination is super effective against 5 types with 6 resistances. It also has 7 weaknesses with a double weakness to bug. Both grass and psychic is resisted by steel and is a liability against the dark type. Final score, negative 8. In 15th is grass and dragon. This combination is super effective against only 4 types with 4 resistances, but it has 3 double resistance to water, grass, and electric. It also has 6 weaknesses with a double weakness to ice. Grass and dragon are resisted by steel and is a liability to fairy. Final score, negative 7.5. In 14th is grass and normal. This combination is super effective against 3 types with 4 resistances. Also has 6 weaknesses and is resisted by steel and a liability against ghost, but at the same time has the immunity against ghost type attacks. Final score, negative 6. In 13th is grass and ice. This combination is super effective against 6 types, and both grass and ice are super effective against ground. It has 6 resistances and it also has 7 weaknesses with a double weakness to fire. Both ice and grass are resisted by steel and fire. Final score, negative 6. In 12th is grass and fighting. This combination is super effective against 7 types. Both grass and fighting is super effective against rock and it has 6 resistances. It also has 6 weaknesses with a double weakness to flying. Grass and fighting types attack are resisted by flying, bug, and poison and is a liability against the ghost type. Final score, negative 5. In 11th is grass and electric. This combination is super effective against 4 types, and both grass and electric are super effective against water. It has 4 resistances with a double resistance to electric. It also has 4 weaknesses, and both grass and electric are resisted by grass and dragon. Also it's a liability to ground. Final score, negative 2.5. In 10th is grass and dark. This type combination is super effective against 5 types with 6 resistances. It also has 7 weaknesses with a double weakness to bug, but an immunity to psychic. Final score, negative 2. In 9th is grass and fairy. This combination is super effective against 6 type with 6 resistances. It also has 5 weaknesses with a double weakness to poison, and both of its attacks are resisted by steel, poison, and fire, but it has an immunity to dragon. Final score, negative 2. In 8th is grass and poison. This combination is super effective against 5 types with 5 resistances, with one of them being a double resistance to grass. It also has 4 weaknesses, and both grass and poison are resisted by poison, plus has a liability against steel. Final score, 1. In 7th is grass and ground. This combination is super effective against 7 types, with both grass and ground being super effective against rock. It has only 2 resistances, and it also has 4 weaknesses, with a double weakness to ice. Grass and ground are resisted by grass and bug, but it does have an immunity to electric, but at the same time a liability to flying. Final score, 1. In 6th is grass and flying. This combination is super effective against 6 type with 3 resistances, one of them being a double resistance to grass. It also has 5 weaknesses with a double weakness to ice. Both grass and flying are resisted by steel and has the immunity to ground. Final score, 1. In 5th is grass and water. This combination is super effective against 4 types, with both grass and water being super effective against rock and ground. It has 3 resistances with a double resistance to water, and it also has 3 weaknesses. Water and grass are resisted by both grass and dragon. Final score, 2. In 4th is grass and ghost. This combination is super effective against 5 types with 4 resistances, and it also has 5 weaknesses. It's a liability against the normal type, but at the same time has an immunity against normal type and fighting. Final score 4. In third is grass and rock. This combination is super effective against 7 types with 2 resistances, and it only has 4 weaknesses. Both grass and rock are resisted by steel. Final score 5. In second is grass and fire. This combination is super effective against 7 types with 4 resistances, and has a double resistance to grass. It also has 3 weaknesses, and both fire and grass are resisted by fire and dragon. Final score 6.5. In first place and the best grass type combination is obviously grass and steel. This combination is super effective against 5 types, with both grass and steel being super effective against rock. It has a massive 9 resistances with a double resistance to grass. It only has 2 weaknesses with a double weakness to fire. Both grass and steel are resisted by fire and steel, but it does have an immunity to poison. Final score 7. Yeah, that's the calculation of the grass type combinations. Since the grass type is pretty butt juice, it kind of needs to be paired up with others to be of any use. Yeah, here's my other calculation vids if you want to see them, I guess, of less booty Pokemon types, and that's about it.